You know, in the world of wellness trends, there's always something new making waves. Well, the latest one is the sardine fast. And yeah, the idea is exactly what it sounds like. You eat only sardines for 3 days straight. It sounds a little intense, maybe even a bit weird, but the people who swear by it are making some pretty bold claims about what it can do for your body. So that's the big question we're tackling, right? Could this incredibly simple 3-day protocol actually do something to reprogram your body? Is this the real deal, or is it just another diet fad that's going to disappear in a few months? All right, let's get into it. Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. First up, we'll cover what the fast actually is. Then we'll dig into why sardines, of all things, are the star of the show. After that, we'll get into the science of what's really happening inside your body. We'll even hear from someone who actually did it, and then wrap it all up to help you figure out if this is something worth trying. All right, first things first, what exactly is this thing? Let's lay out the basic rules and where this whole idea came from. So this was created by a Dr. Annette Bosworth, who's also known as Dr. Boz. And the rules, super simple. For 3 whole days, you eat nothing but sardines. You can drink all the water, black coffee, or tea you want, and you just eat the sardines whenever you feel hungry. Now, the goal isn't just to cut calories. It's what they call a fasting mimicking diet. The whole point is to trick your body into thinking it's on a traditional fast and kick it into a state of ketosis. Okay, but why sardines? I mean, of all the food out there, what makes these little fish the one and only choice for this kind of intense protocol? Well, if you ask experts like neuroscientist Dr. Dom D'Agostino, it's pretty simple. He basically says sardines are like the perfect food. His whole thing is if you're gonna do this kind of diet, you want the most nutritionally packed food possible, and for him, nothing even comes close to a good sardine. And this is where you really see what he means by nutrient density. I mean, they're just loaded with omega-3s, which are amazing for fighting inflammation. They've got tons of high-quality protein. They're packed with vitamin D, calcium, and selenium. And the idea here is pretty cool. You're giving your body so much good stuff that it basically stops screaming for more calories. It's supposed to make the fast feel, well, almost easy. So if you go online and look at people who are actually doing this, you'll find this huge debate. Should you eat sardines packed in oil or in water? Team Oil says you get way better flavor and texture, plus some extra healthy fats if it's a good olive oil. But Team Water is all about the fewer calories, which makes sense if weight loss is your #1 goal. It really just boils down to what you're trying to achieve. So where do the experts land on this? Well, they say go for maximum nutrition. Dr. D'Agostino's recommendation is to get the sardines packed in extra virgin olive oil, and here's the key part, get the ones with the skin and bones included. Yeah, I know, but that's where all the good stuff is, like a massive calcium boost and other micronutrients. Okay, so we've got the what and the why. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty science, the how. What's actually going on with your hormones and your metabolism when you're eating nothing but sardines for 3 days? Everything really kicks off with insulin. Think of insulin like a traffic cop for your body's energy. Its main job is to direct sugar from your blood into your cells to be used for fuel. And when there's extra fuel, it helps store it away as fat. The big problem for a lot of us is that this traffic cop is working overtime all the time, and that constant high insulin is linked to a whole host of chronic diseases. So what happens when you eat only sardines? Well, since they have basically 0 carbs, your insulin levels just plummet. That traffic cop can finally take a break. And that's the signal your body's been waiting for to switch to plan B, burning fat for fuel. It starts producing these molecules called ketones. And the cool thing about ketones is that they can fuel your brain directly, even a brain that's gotten a little tired of listening to insulin. Okay, but here's where things get really wild. Fasting doesn't just lower your insulin. It also causes this huge surge in human growth hormone. Check out this graph from a 2017 study. It's pretty dramatic. You can see that over a 3-day fast, growth hormone levels just go through the roof. This is your body's smart way of saying, hey, let's burn fat, but protect the muscle. But wait, there's a twist. That massive spike in growth hormone actually makes you more insulin resistant. So what gives? Well, in the same study, the researchers actually blocked the growth hormone to see what would happen. And wow, look at those white bars. Without GH in the picture, insulin sensitivity shot right back up. Turns out it's the growth hormone that's telling the liver to keep pumping out glucose, which is what drives that insulin resistance during a fast. Okay, the science is one thing, but what's it actually like to do this? Let's switch gears from the lab to a real-life story. A health and fitness coach named Peter Whitting documented his whole 3-day journey for Newsweek. So, meet Peter Whiting. He started this whole thing at 169.5 pounds. But here's the thing. His goal wasn't even weight loss. He was actually trying to speed up his recovery from a minor surgery, figuring his body could focus on healing if it wasn't busy digesting. And his 3-day journey was, well, it was a roller coaster. Day 1, he felt pretty weak, coming off carbs. He even struggled just getting the tin open. Day 2 is when it hit him. Wow, I really do not like sardines. But he also noticed his mind felt super sharp and clear. By day 3, he was trying hot sauce, anything to mask the taste, but he also felt totally energized. He'd made it into ketosis. And his best piece of advice from the whole experience is just gold. He said, "My tip would be to not make eye contact with the sardines when you're eating them, because I looked at one a little too long and it made me feel sick." I think we can all relate to that. So what happened after 3 days of battling tin fish? Were the results worth it? Well, take a look. Pretty impressive, right? He lost 4 pounds of total weight and dropped a full percentage point in body fat. And most importantly, he felt like it really did help with his recovery. All right, that brings us to the big question. We've seen the science, we've heard the story, so let's put it all together. Is this fast something that might be for you? Let's start with the good stuff. The potential benefits are pretty clear. You've got the weight loss, that laser-sharp mental focus that comes with ketosis, and some serious anti-inflammatory effects from all those omega-3s. It also helps protect your muscle, which is great. And honestly, for a lot of people, eating something is just way easier mentally than doing a straight-up water fast. But let's be real, the challenges are also pretty clear. I mean, as we just heard, if you don't like sardines, this is going to be tough. It's a deal breaker. You also have to get your head around the idea that you're fasting while still eating, which is a little weird for some people, and it leads to this funny but totally valid point. Some folks would honestly rather eat absolutely nothing than eat only sardines for 3 days. And hey, if that's you, there's good news. The whole principle doesn't have to be about sardines. Experts say you could probably do a similar thing with other super nutrient-dense foods like mackerel or even egg yolks or liver. So at the end of all this, we're left with a pretty wild thought. Could one of the keys to our wellness really be hiding in plain sight, inside a humble can of fish? It's an idea that strips everything back to the basics, to pure, powerful nutrition. Kind of makes you think, doesn't it?